Revelation chapter 13, verse 11. Then I saw another beast coming up out of the earth, and he had two horns like a lamb, and spoke like a dragon. And he exercises all the authority of the first beast in his presence, and causes the earth and those who dwell in it to worship the first beast, whose deadly wound was healed. He performs great signs, so that he even makes fire come down from heaven on the earth in the sight of men. And he deceives those who dwell on the earth by those signs which he was granted to do in the sight of the beast, telling those who dwell on the earth to make an image to the beast, who was wounded by the sword and lived. He was granted power to give breath to the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause as many as would not worship the image of the beast to be killed. Here, there is a beast coming up out of the earth. The beast rising up out of the sea that appears in chapter 13, verse 1, rises up from the world, and the beast coming up out of the earth refers to a leader of Israel. A prophet will rise up from the midst of Israel. Let me explain. The people of Israel have believed for the past 4,000 years that the Messiah will come someday. Messiah is the Hebrew word, and Christ is the Greek. 2,000 years ago, the Christ, who is the Messiah, came to this world, but the Jews didn't recognize him as the Messiah, and they rejected him. The people of Israel who do not believe in Jesus believe that the Messiah is still to come in the future. What kind of Messiah are they waiting for? They aren't waiting for a Messiah who will save people from their sins. They are waiting for a Messiah who will save the nation of Israel. This is what they believe. If you watch from now on, you'll see this. But Israel is continually being driven into a corner by the whole world. It keeps on being attacked. If you look at the world today, you'll see that the United States and parts of Europe support Israel. But most other countries are siding with the Arab nations. Later, there will come a time when Israel will be placed in a very difficult and critical situation. At that time, the prophet of Israel will join forces with the United Nations of Europe to form one huge nation, a nation wielding tremendous power. They will form an alliance. As we read earlier in Daniel chapter 9, he shall confirm a covenant with many for 1 week. That covenant is an alliance. Once that alliance has been formed, the leader who will rise up out of Israel, the false prophet, will declare to the people of Israel that he is the Messiah who has come to save them. This is what it's talking about in the passage we have been reading. Let's read it again from verse 11. Then I saw another beast coming up out of the earth, and he had two horns like a lamb and spoke like a dragon. He spoke like a dragon, like a person. He would have spoken magnificently, wouldn't he? And he exercises all the authority of the first beast in his presence, and causes the earth here is Israel, and those who dwell in it to worship the first beast, whose deadly wound was healed. He made people worship the person who died, and then miraculously came alive again. Next, verse 13. He performs great signs, so that he even makes fire come down from heaven on the earth in the sight of men. And he deceives those who dwell on the earth by those signs which he was granted to do in the sight of the beast, telling those who dwell on the earth to make an image to the beast, who was wounded by the sword and lived. In the streets of Jerusalem, he will build a gigantic image. He will erect this tall image, this huge image, and he will make everyone worship it. Now, look at verse 15. He was granted power to give breath to the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause as many as would not worship the image of the beast to be killed. Now, look at verse 16. He causes all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and slave, to receive a mark on their right hand or on their foreheads, and that no one may buy or sell except one who has the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. Here is wisdom. Let him who has understanding calculate the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man. His number is 666. These words were also recorded more than 1,900 years ago. These words were also recorded more than 1,900 years ago. But now these things have come about right in front of our eyes. What does it mean for people to receive a mark on their forehead? The number 666 is the name of a world ruler. Let's read this again. Verse 17. And that no one may buy or sell except one who has the mark or the name of the beast. The name of the beast. The name of the world ruler. The beast. Or the number of his name. The name is recorded as a number. There is no need for individuals to have names. Everyone has a number that is entered into a computer. Everyone, without exception, has already been entered into the computers as a number. So once your number is typed in, all your details are brought up. Now look at verse 18. Here is wisdom. Let him who has understanding calculate the number of the beast. His name is also a number, for it is the number of a man. His number is 666. For it is the number of a man. His number is 666. It says the number of a man is 666. What does this mean? There are meanings to the numbers in the Bible. The number 3 represents God. It is a reference to the triune God, the Holy Trinity. Then the number 4 represents the world, since there are 4 directions in the world. The sum of 4 and 3 is 7. The number 7, from a biblical perspective, is a complete number. It signifies completeness. What about man? Man is imperfect, and because he is lacking, the number of man is 6. The number 6 represents man. There are 7 days in a week, and man works for 6 of those days. Man works for 6 days. He works for 6 days and rests on the 7th day. That's the way it is. But here it says 666. What does that mean? It means that a man becomes a god. The number 3 represents God, and this means that man tries to act as God. This is the antichrist and the ruler of the world. 2 Thessalonians chapter 2 verse 1. Now, brethren, concerning the coming of our Lord Jesus Christ and our gathering together to him, we ask you not to be soon shaken in mind or troubled, either by spirit or by word or by letter, as if from us, as though the day of Christ had come. Let no one deceive you by any means, for that day will not come unless the falling away comes first. And the man of sin here is the Antichrist, the ruler of the world. The man of sin is revealed, the son of perdition, who opposes. He opposes God and exalts himself above all that is called God, or that is worshipped. Now look what it says here. So that he sits as God in the temple of God, showing himself that he is God. He calls himself God. This is 666. The number 6 signifies a man, and 3 is God. So 666 means a man becomes God. He will sit in the temple and say, I am God, and the Israelites will worship him as their Messiah. This ruler of the world will enter Jerusalem, sit in the temple, and claim that he is God. That is what this is talking about. And his name is 666. Everyone will have to receive this mark, and a person won't be able to survive without it. Why is that? Because he won't be able to buy or sell. A person will not be able to buy or sell anything. You wouldn't be able to buy rice or bread or meat or anything at all. And people who sell goods won't be able to carry out their business if they don't receive this mark. So ultimately, you will lose your right to live. Because of this, everyone will be scrambling to receive the mark, If you do receive the mark, it will be extremely convenient for you. At that time, you won't need any money. This will serve as money. When you go to work for a month, your wages will go directly into your bank account by means of the computerized system. That is, for those who have the mark. Then when you go to the supermarket to buy something, once you have collected all the items you need, since you have the mark on your forehead or on your hand, all the purchases will automatically be calculated and charged when you pass in front of the computer with your mark. When you go somewhere by plane, if you have the mark on your right hand, all you'll need to do is scan your hand and you'll be able to board. So thieves won't be able to steal any money. Normally, you carry money around in your pocket, but then the mark will be your money. The mark will be your money. It will be a very convenient time indeed. At that time, a thief may be able to climb over a wall and steal some physical object, but he won't be able to steal any money. There won't be any pickpockets either. Just imagine how convenient it will all be. That kind of convenient age will come. The Bible was recorded 2,000 years ago, but today, these events are unfolding right in front of our eyes. They are clearly happening. In the future, everyone will receive this mark. When they're told to come and receive the mark, they'll stand in line as if they were lining up to receive their food rations.